Welcome back to the morning show. It's Wise Guy Wednesday, and Matt Sellon has all kinds of fun cooked up for us today. We're talking rock candy and ice spikes.
Oh, and more than that, too.
And more.
Ooh, ice spike. Now, there's a new one.
Now, last week, I complained a little to Robert because it was warm and we were talking about snow.
Sure.
I take it all back.
Oh, okay. Well,
can you make this weather go away?
You know, you should have talked to me a couple days ago.
So what I asked the people to try, if they had time, was to make ice cubes with distilled water. This was something I learned on this website that I looked at called snowcrystals.com. And if you can get a picture of this, I made some ice cubes, just the regular ice cube tray in the freezer. I got some distilled water out of the at the grocery store. I just filled it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. I also have a
it's right about there.
There's a little spike that's sticking up. It's about an inch long. And you get these very funny little needles sticking out of the ice cube.
That is very weird.
Yeah, and so what happens with the distilled water, it's very impurity-free, and so it freezes evenly, but it leaves a little hole in the top, and then as the water underneath expands, the water is kind of pushed up through the hole, and it makes sort of an inverse little icicle that sticks up farther and farther. And if you're real lucky, you get several of these. I just got one.
Wow. You know, one's better than none.
Did you start this a week ago to try to make one, or did it?
Yes, well, I started a few days ago. And in fact, I have a confession to make. I also wanted people to try to make sugar crystals, and I started a little too late on this. I started on Sunday, and it was a miserable failure. All I got was a slimy string. Can you see this?
Ooh.
So it's kind of like
that's just regular string, and it's now probably, what, a quarter of an inch thick?
Yeah, I don't know. So it didn't really work. My daughter did this in school. It worked beautifully, and I put the recipe on my website, but I didn't exactly follow the recipe because I was in a hurry. So there's a lesson here for everybody.
Follow the recipe.
But luckily, I went down to Amish land in Tuscola yesterday, and I got this rock candy. Can you see that? And here you can actually see the little sugar crystals that have been formed as they made this thing. It's actually quite beautiful. And so if you would like to eat that, you can have that.
I can try it.
Yeah, you can see crystals are
Very
tasty.
festive. Nice call on the green one, by the way.
Okay, so what I want to do is talk about the use of some of these crystals. This is getting back to crystals, and
Oh yeah, there was a scientific purpose.
That's right. That's right. And I'm kind of hoping my wife isn't watching because I took apart our phone. So, anyways, what crystals can also be used for, and are used for a lot, are electronics. And of course, semiconductors themselves, transistors and diodes, are made of single crystals of silicon, and we won't talk about that. But just last week we showed quartz crystals. And it turns out that quartz crystals can be made to vibrate at very specific frequencies by cutting them to exact dimensions. Okay. And you should never do this, but if you were to take apart your telephone...
Do not take apart your telephone.
Do not take apart your phone. This is only trained professionals like me to do this. You can see that inside of these things, often there's like a little metal can, like the thing that you see right here. And that's inside there is a quartz crystal, and it's cut to the exact dimension that this one vibrates at a frequency of 4 megahertz, is what it says on this thing.
Okay.
So 4 million times a second. And the reason this works is that there's a connection between the electrical properties of these crystals and their mechanical properties. So by putting a voltage on them, an electrical voltage, you can get the thing to actually start vibrating. And by the same token, you can, by squeezing on a crystal, you can get electricity out of it.
Okay.
And that's called the piezoelectric effect, and I'll talk about that in the next segment. That's how some microphones work, and how some speakers work, and how we can make sparks, and some interesting stuff like that.
And do you repair phones if we break them like that?
No, I don't repair anything. I just break them.
Do not do this at home, folks. Stay with us for our next segment with Wise Guy. We'll be right back.